the Tonic Labyrinthine Reflex. I have linked this document into the Facebook page, and I'm planning to do a YouTube video about it as well. I'll link the web page that you can obtain it from, but it's basically a list of the different primitive reflexes. So these are reflexes that are present prior to a baby being born, and when they're born, then they're kind of present, like the routine reflex when they're you stroke their cheek and they turn to the side, startle reflex, which is also known as the Moreau reflex. And those reflexes are there when your baby's young, but they should integrate as the baby gets older. And there's an assumption that those primitive reflexes automatically integrate, but it's been shown in over 90% of children with autism and ADHD that they haven't, and it might be that there's a few that haven't integrated, or there might be more than that. So in this video I'm going to speak to you and tell you a little bit about the tonic labyrinthine reflex, or the TLR. And some of the symptoms that a retained TLR can cause would be balance and coordination problems, a shrunken posture, so kind of like poor posture, fatigues easily, muscle tone imbalances, difficulty judging distances, depth, space and speed, a fear of heights, W-sitting, motion sickness, visual, speech, auditory difficulties, a tendency to be cross-eyed, so they might have issues which appears to be with their vision or with their eyes, but actually it's to do with this reflex, stiff, jerky movements, toe walking. There are other reflexes like the Babinski reflex that can also be implicated with toe walking, difficulty walking up and down stairs, poor core strength and difficulty following directional or movement instructions. This is actually one of the reflexes that my youngest son, who's 9 and has a diagnosis of ASD1, struggles with. So some of the things that I notice about him, he W-sits. He actually more recently, he didn't used to have a problem, but he's developed a problem with motion sickness. And today when we were doing our bike ride, it became apparent he had a fear of heights as we were crossing over bridges that were basically over motorways. It hadn't really been something that I was aware of before, and he definitely fatigues easily. So he tends to, like if we're doing schoolwork or like home education work, would quite often, slump on the table or lie down because he finds it really difficult as well with having those issues to kind of like maintain an upright sitting posture. So the way to actually assess the TLR is in standing. You would get somebody to stand with their feet together. So I'm going to just take a step back and show you basically. So standing with feet together, hands down by the side, shoulders relaxed. Ask the person initially to close their eyes, and then they're going to take their chin down to their chest and hold it there for 3 seconds, 2, 1, and then they're going to take their heads up as if they're looking up to the ceiling, but they're still keeping their eyes closed, and then hold for 3, 2, 1, and then do that again. Head down, chin to chest for 3, 2, 1, and then looking up, 3, 2, 1, and then you would do it once more. Generally with a routine primitive reflex, what you'll see is that as you do the assessment check or test, that it gets worse. So there'll be some element of a bit of sway, but often what you'll see is that the child can't do it at all, or they might kind of really have a lot of sway, or they might go to kind of fall backwards. So make sure if you're checking for it that you've got lots of space around, that they're not going to fall back and hit themselves. You can stand kind of to their side, or make sure your arm is kind of maybe at their back just in case, because you might be surprised actually when you check this reflex that the child still has it present. In Disconnected Kids, a book by Dr. Robert Melillo, his recommendation is to use the same assessment, basically kind of exercise, as a way to exercise to integrate it. Now some children might find that okay. My son in particular finds that exercise quite difficult. I think it makes him quite nervous that he kind of feels like he's not in control and he's going to lose his balance. So I will be doing other videos on other ways, other exercises, and another really good resource. They have a website and a YouTube channel, probably on Instagram. It's Harkla, an occupational therapy organisation, basically a service, and they've done lots and lots of videos and different kind of advice and information about kind of ways to help kind of do these exercises to help integrate them as well.